Good morning, everyone. So I have been a little MIA the last few days. Um, Friday, after the daily reading that I did on Friday, my allergies attacked me in a way that they haven't attacked me in a long time. And it's allergy season for sure, but like everything that I did, like nothing was helping. And then actually wasn't able to sleep very well. It's very interesting. And even this morning, like it's really, really early in the morning. Some might even say it is still nighttime. So the energy is really, really strange. I think a lot of these emotions and stuff that everybody's feeling right now are, I don't want you to think that you're like going crazy. This is real. This is really like, I actually want to sneeze right now. It's so funny. Every time I start channeling or reading in any way, like all of my third eye senses and everything just like goes into overload. So I just want you to know that the emotions that you're feeling right now are super, super real. We have a Venus T square with Jupiter, Neptune, and the moon in Pisces. What that means is actually Venus is square Jupiter, Venus is square Neptune. I'm sorry, Venus is opposite Jupiter, directly opposite Jupiter. I misspoke. And Venus is square Neptune today, and it's also square Pisces, our Pisces moon today. So, and the Pisces moon and Neptune is now in retrograde. So Jupiter and Neptune are both in retrograde with this T square. Um, but with this, we also have the Pisces moon, which is at zero conjunction with Neptune. And so what does this all mean? The really strong emotions that some of you might have really been holding back, especially with the Aquarius moon that we had on Friday. It's very easy to be able to be like, no, I'm just going to kind of shut, like Thursday and Friday, but I like, no, I'm just going to shut down my emotions. And then we roll into the Pisces moon. And, you know, Mercury and Mars are still in Cancer. The sun is now in Cancer. So we have this stellium with the North Node also in Cancer. There's a lot of feelings and a lot of emotions, and the moon will be trine with Mercury and Mars on tomorrow, but that energy is also going to start kind of pulling us today as well. Feel it all. Allow yourself to feel it all. It's so funny because in this day and age, we are made to think, we're programmed to believe that showing emotion or feeling emotion in any way, shape, or form is a negative thing, or it's weak, you know. And it's not a weakness to be honest about how you're feeling. It's not a weakness to say that hurt my feelings, or I'm in a really bad mood today, or all I need is to just be left alone so I could cry for, 2 or 3 hours and just like kind of leave me alone. In doing that, allowing yourself to really feel what you're feeling instead of just pushing it aside and saying, no, I'm not going to deal with those emotions. I'm going to push them away. And allowing yourself to feel them, it opens up a part of you that was probably buried. And it's really funny because it's exhausting too. I think a lot of people, the reason why they keep their emotions hidden, or they keep it, like, I know I'm the kind of person that when I cry, I like ugly cry. Like, I am a cry. I didn't used to be an ugly crier because I used to hold back my emotions, but now I just like let it out, and I'm a super ugly crier, and then I'm just exhausted afterwards. It's energy in motion, feeling like you're supposed to be tired afterwards. It's a stress relief to be able to do that. Also, with all of this energy, especially with Neptune now in retrograde, Neptune represents our psychic abilities. It represents the imagination. It even represents like illusions, right? Um, but with Venus square Neptune in, retrograde right now, there's a lot of reality when it comes to the heart, or there's a lot of reality because Venus also not only rules love, but also rules material and financial things too, because it's all about the aesthetics. It's all about the beauty part of things. So let yourself see the reality of stuff. Don't kid yourself right now when it comes to, we talked about it on Friday, that it's a very real possibility this weekend for you to have karmic relationships or get in touch with old people from the past. When things are in retrograde, it's all about redoing. We have Jupiter and Neptune in retrograde in this T-square to Venus. So it's all about going back into the past and the ways of the heart, the ways of how you felt about a certain person, and you can almost see the reality of the situation instead of being caught up in the waves of emotion and the waves of, that feeling that you get when you look at somebody and you know that you have like a connection in some way, shape, or form, and it's almost not real. You're almost like, is this a pretend emotion, or is this something that is real? Is because it feels so strong and it feels so inviting, right? So you kind of have to ask yourself right now, is this a real emotion, or is this something that I'm allowing myself to get caught up in? One of the biggest things that I learned in my life, you can love a person and you can have very deep feelings for them, but you can love someone and not be able to live with them because you have to be in the reality of it. You have to be in the real, love is not the only thing that keeps everybody together. It's also trust and compromise and allowing yourself to 100% be transparent with another person. And if you can do that and not feel like you're holding yourself back in any way, that's more real than the overwhelming emotion of a connection with somebody else, if that makes sense. So let's see. My nose is really itchy all of a sudden. Let's see what the cards have to say for today. So the 10 of Wands is the first card that came out. I kind of feel like this is the burden of the weight, the carrying of the weight that's on you. This is also about really hard work, and because there's a goal in mind, right? And if you're the kind of person that is like me, where a lot of times emotions are channeled by working really, really hard and then kind of like collapsing at the end of the day, that's sort of something that because I allow myself, I sometimes push myself, like, let's be honest, I'm a Virgo, like that's what I do. But I'll push and push and push throughout the day. And then at the end of the day, I'm just like, oh, I'm done. Right? So that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting here. The second card that came up is the Empress. So, and the Empress she's an energy that she's an archetype that can do anything. Like, I've said it before, she can own her own business. She can be a single mom. She can be the PTA president, and she teaches yoga classes on the weekends and doesn't even break a sweat. Why? Because she also takes care of herself. And I don't mean she buys herself all the best things or She, you know, gets her nails done, or she does all of that too, but she also takes care of herself in an emotional capacity, in an emotional way. I'm going to mention really quick that all of my readings are still on sale, and I'm still booking readings right now, even through all of the traveling and stuff. It's just not going to be a whole lot of readings. So I am still booking readings for those who, because I've actually had emails or like comments where people are like, I really want to get a reading with you, but I don't know when the cutoff date is. There isn't a cutoff date. I'm still going to be booking readings, and I'll let people know that if the readings are like booked out too far and stuff like that. Like, I'm not going to stop booking readings. So if you want to get a reading, they're still on sale. And I only have 4 of these clear crystal quartz necklaces left. And I'm not going to have these particular necklaces in stock again, probably for about 2 or 3 months. It's going to take a little, because I mean, they're handmade. So it takes a while to make them, like to actually like make the silver, and because the silver comes raw. So he hand makes all of this. So there won't be any more in stock for a while. So if you want to get a necklace and a reading, there you go. The King of Wands. Woo. And the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles and the Lovers. Very interesting, because we were talking about the illusion of love, and sometimes people can get caught up in the lover's type of life or the lover's type of idea and get caught up in that and have a hard time coming out of it, or like you kind of have to realize that the lover's energy is here to trigger you. Like, it's not something that is just going to be the easiest relationship ever. It's the greatest love story that you could have, but that doesn't mean that it's movie romance love. That means that it's real, triggering, effective growth kind of a relationship. A lot of people romanticize the lover's connection. And when you romanticize something, it is an illusion. And we're not, and because Neptune is in retrograde for the next couple of months, it's not going to allow us to look at the illusion of that, especially while it is square Venus, right? There are a lot of opportunities if you allow yourself to see them. Give me 1 second. Sorry guys, I'll be right there. Sorry about that. It was either my nose running down my face or grabbing a Kleenex. And I don't have a pause button for videos. So, the Page of Cups and the Six of Swords. I feel like allowing yourself to understand the reality of the situation, even though you want more out of it, understanding the reality of the situation is going to give you more out of it. Because what's going to happen with the Six of Swords, swords are thoughts, right? And it's about moving from calmer water, or from rough waters into calmer waters. This actually shows that it's a hot air balloon, which is kind of funny to me, because they have swords on the balloon. Like, that's going to pop. My logical mind comes up and says, oh yeah, that's not going to work. But here's the thing. The Page of Cups is somebody who is like, could I just get a little more? Could I just get a little extra? It doesn't even have to be that much. Yeah, you can, but the only way that you can get more, even in an emotional capacity, is if you allow yourself to look at it in a realistic way, right? And I know that that's because right now it's like you want to be able to sit in your feelings and just like let it overrun you. And you can do that, but after you sit in your feelings, there's almost like this aha moment, something that you might have been waiting on for a while, kind of like, um, oh, I get it now. I see why things had to be the way they are in this situation. Let's clarify these and see where we're going. The Ten of Wands is working really, really hard. And it's also the ending of that cycle of having to kind of overwork yourself. It's like you don't have to worry about burdening yourself anymore. Are you feeling betrayed? Is that the burden that you're carrying? The Seven of Swords on the Ten of Wands. This energy can make you feel like others are betraying you in some way. But that may not be the truth. It could be that others are not betraying you, but you're seeing it that way. You're seeing it like they're betraying you. Let's see. The Empress. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. Oh. This is really interesting. You're kind of starting fresh after the heartbreak. So we have the Three of Swords and we have the Fool on the Empress. Now, what's interesting is the Fool and the Empress are all about new beginnings. It's all about creation. It's all about creativity. The Empress is ruled by Venus. And and see, this is the thing, is this is where I want to tell you that letting your feelings just kind of flow and allowing yourself to see what that Three of Swords really means to you, the pain of it. And the Three of Swords can very much represent just the memories, because swords are thoughts, right? Like the initial pain of what happened is gone, right? The initial part of that pain is gone. And the Three of Swords comes in, and the memory of it is what is the pain, the painful exit. That's why it's so hard to get over relationships sometimes, because the memories of it. And this Six of Swords down here is saying that things are getting easier. Life is getting a little bit easier as you allow yourself to fill up your own cup. But the burden of whatever betrayal you felt in the past, you're almost over that. You're coming to the end of that road. The way that you release it, because everybody asks me, especially in my alignment sessions, when we're talking about what's blocking you, what is the thing that's blocking you the most in your life, is you holding on to the bitterness, anger, and rage of something that somebody did in the past, or something that happened to you in the past. And what you have to remember is that past thing helped you grow into who you are today, but it does not have to define you. And the more you hold on to the bitterness, anger, and rage and pain of what happened in the past, it's going to continue to define you over and over and over again. So you have to start fresh. The Empress and the Fool are saying it's time to let go of that pain. It's time to let go of them. And the memories it'll take time for the memories to fade. But the more you consciously are aware of saying, okay, that memory pops up, I'm going to let it go. And this is what Cancer season teaches us. Like there's this emotion filled logic, right? That we have to allow ourselves to witness and to go through. And this is exactly what's happening right now. Because cancers are very, very deep and they're very, very emotional, but they're not going to show you. They have a very good poker face. I've known many cancers that can just glaze over, like their eyes just kind of gloss over because they don't want to open up to you. They don't want to show you their poker face, if you will. It's their poker face. So they're not going to show you the real emotion underneath all of it. So this is saying that it's time to release that deception. Whatever it was that you're still holding on to from your past, it's time to release that. And if there is a person in your life, the King of Wands is somebody who is very confident, very sure of himself. He's a go-getter. He can also be a little bit biting sometimes, like he can bite you with his words. But the Seven of Wands is saying to have healthy boundaries with this person. It's not necessarily that it has to be a bad person, but I feel like the reason why there might be a blockage towards this person is either this is the person that betrayed you, or this is a new person in your life with the Fool that you want to start something new with, but you're unsure about because of your past. This is what we talk about when we mean bringing baggage from your past into a new relationship. If you're allowing yourself to get triggered by somebody, not because of what they're doing, but because of what's happened to you in your past, and they're in the crossfires of your bitterness and rage and anger, there's no way that you could have a relationship with somebody when it's like that, because you're going to be constantly bringing up the old baggage and the old, bringing that up within you. Even if you don't openly bring it up or say, oh yeah, I'm aware of what I'm doing. Usually we're not aware of what we're doing. The Seven of Wands is saying it can be a blockage, but it's also saying just put up your healthy boundaries. Allow yourself to have boundaries. Allow yourself to not necessarily a wall. You don't have to be guarded. Just be open with how you feel about things and to not shut yourself down just because of a feeling. Let's see what this Queen of Pentacles. It is thunderstorming again today. It's crazy. It's been like this for a couple of days now. Actually, yesterday for a little while it was pretty clear, but okay, so we have two cards here. The Queen of Pentacles comes along and says Ace of Wands, Four of Wands on the King of Pentacles. This is the universe offering you stability. And the Queen of Pentacles is kind of like the mother figure in the zodiac. It represents Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. But the kind of person that the Queen of Pentacles is solid and stable and grounded. Maybe a little too grounded sometimes. But with the Ace of Wands and the Four of Wands, it's almost like this energy is offering you a safe place. It's almost like this is the universal energy offering you a safe place. This is like that aha thought process that you've been kind of holding on to a little bit too much, and allowing yourself to see that things are actually much more stable than it feels, especially during this really emotional day or really emotional time. allowing yourself to see that things are much stable than you feel they are is kind of a big deal. So keep your eyes open, because the universe is offering you different instances, different situations that are going to really help you become stable, you know. And that's the thing is, you know, being stable is relative to everybody. Like, what does stability really mean to you? You know, we could go through our whole conversation again of having all of the things. If you have all the things but you don't feel stable within, like, what is home to you? Is it your environment and all of the things that surround you in your environment? Or is it a feeling that you have within yourself? Have you created your own home within your heart space, which is what Cancers do? Welcome to Cancer season. They create their own home within. So let's see, the Lovers. You could possibly get everything that you want right now. But some of you are manifesting and wishing for a particular relationship to come to fruition, or a particular person to show up in your life. And I got to tell you that right now you're going to realize, or the energy that's happening right now, you're going to realize that everything that you thought you wanted wasn't real. Everything that you previously wanted, it wasn't real. And now it's becoming really apparent how reality and illusion are sort of crashing together right now. Let's see what the Page of Cups is. Page of Cups and Six of Swords. Yeah, it's time for you to, bottom of the deck is the Two of Swords, so some people aren't really seeing things very clearly. Judgment on the Six of Swords and the Page of Cups. I know you want things to be easier right now, and the universe is taking care of you. Judgment is that support system, but it's also a call to action, and it's telling you that you are the only person that can help you make things easier for yourself right now. No one other person is going to make your life easier. You have to do that for yourself. And the only way that you can do that for yourself is if you feel everything first. And once you have felt everything, you look at it logically, right? Because the Page of Cups is telling you to feel it all. Feel everything that you want. And then the Six of Swords is saying, okay, now let's look at things a little bit in a much easier, a brighter light, a better existence, a brighter light. Because this bitterness and this pain that you're holding on to right now, it's supposed to come up with this energy. You're supposed to be feeling this way. I don't want you to think that there's something wrong with you just because you're feeling this energy that's not comfortable. Not everything's comfortable. Sometimes the most uncomfortable instances or the most uncomfortable situations are the ones that we have to go through for growth and to move us towards our soul purpose. So this pain and this bitterness that you've been holding on to that's been a real burden, now's the time to let it go. And if you have to cry it out, I should have worn my t-shirt that says, you've got 5 emotional minutes. We've got 5 minutes in the day to be emotional, and then you got to get up and be gangster. That's actually on my merchandise website, along with this t-shirt that I'm wearing. This is one of my favorites just because it's so true. Welcome to evolution. Allow yourself to release the bitterness because you don't want to block out your person forever. And some people who want to be in relationships so badly, they want to be able to share their life with somebody that they love so much and so badly. The reason why it's not happening is because you're just not ready yet. And the reason, and it's nothing that's like negative towards you. You didn't do anything wrong to not be ready. The reason why you're not ready yet is you just have some healing to do. So let yourself do that. Let yourself go through the process instead of trying to skip to the front of the line. Okay? I mean, took me 39 years to get through the whole process. 38 years to get through the whole process. And then when I got through that process and I realized my true worth, that's when the real thing shows up, right? And the real thing is different than that. Like, you still have that full emotion, that full love emotion for the other person, but it's not the star-crossed lovers, I can't live without you, this energy is so intense, yada, yada. I mean, it's not like that. It's much more comforting than that, because that's turmoil within your body. When your heart is palpitating and your hands are really sweaty and you can't think straight, those are actually negative emotions. But we equate it with love, or we equate it with positive emotions because the movies tell us to, or all those love stories tell us to. The real thing is actually much calmer than that. It brings you a sense of peace. That's when you know you've grown. When you can be at peace and also be in a relationship at the same time, that's true growth. All right, my friends, thanks for your patience with me. I know everybody's going to be like, what are you talking about? You give us so much. I get that all the time. I really appreciate all of the support with these daily readings that I've been getting. Also, I will have the rest of the love readings out. I'm really hoping I can get it today, but I'm not going to promise anything. And the reason why I'm not promising the love readings are going to all come out, I haven't forgotten about you guys at all. And I also haven't forgotten to do the Cancer reading and start with the general readings. I haven't forgotten about you guys. This energy is affecting me as well. And I got to be honest with you, I actually feel a lot of the energy before everybody else does. And there are some really big things coming with this eclipse that we have on July 2nd. And I'm also preparing for the events. The first event is in Kansas City on Friday, June 28th. So if you're in Kansas City, please come see me. I would love to see you in my hometown. There will probably be some special people also that will be there that I've grown up with. So come out and see me. And it would be really special to be able to see everybody here in Kansas City. And St. Louis is July 2nd. Chicago will probably be up on I don't know if it's on my website yet. Let's take a look. I don't remember. I have a feeling that like Ryan worked on it last night while I was sleeping. I fell asleep pretty early. Let's just see. Okay. Kansas City, St. Louis. Nope, it's not up yet. It'll probably be up today. But Chicago is August 3rd. And then we also have St. Louis, which is it'll be the weekend of August 23rd. And Portland will be the last weekend in August. I am aware that that is also Labor Day weekend, but it's my birthday weekend too. My birthday will be on that Friday, August 30th. So I love you all. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you guys soon. Bye.